somewhat Brawl news. So there was a pretty dang significant change here recently to the already changed trophy reset and the rewards that we can expect from the reset being bling. The end result might not sound like a great change here, seeing that we are losing out a little bit on the free bling that we can expect from it, and I'm going to break it down in its entirety for all of you guys here, so let's get into it. Of course, if you guys enjoy what you see here or you find anything in this video useful, be sure to subscribe to the channel. That helps out a ton. So we are starting things off here in this episode today over here on the Brawl Stars Twitter page with a post that came out a little bit ago, May 23rd. And as you can see, there was a lot being added with this change. Guys, trophy reset changes or tweaks is something that is very uncommon. It's something that we are not used to here in the community, seeing that we've been at this same trophy reset standard since this last update, being the entirety of the Brawl Pass season length for such a long time now. So these changes feel a little bit bizarre and kind of hard to get used to. But to break down the more significant changes here, as you can see, you asked for it. We're about to go into maintenance break to apply the following improvements. For the trophy reset changes, we got a trophy season length increased from 2 weeks to 4 weeks, brawler reset reduced from 20 to 10 brawlers, added an extra threshold at every 25 trophies after 500 trophies goes up to 1,000 trophies, decreased the number of trophies you lose, your current threshold minus 1 trophy, example 750 to 774 trophies will reset to 749 trophies, example 1,450 to 1,499 trophies will be reset to 1,449 trophies. It's kind of confusing, I know, but where the most significant aspect that is stirring the most commotion inside the community is at this point here. Rewards per brawler are now 4 bling, 501 trophies to 524, up to 64 bling, 1,500 trophies plus per brawler. So, hey, if you guys ask me, reading through this, it's a little bit confusing trying to take in the significance of this change here, which is exactly why I'm making this video here today. I got a feeling there's other people who are a bit confused and how this is going to impact their account. Thankfully, we have individuals much like Dandy here clearing things up in the community, and we're going to be highlighting a set of tweets from him that really clear things up and how it's going to impact us. So initially, upon the announcement of the trophy reset changes here, and I believe a lot of people saw it this way right off the get-go, we have Dandy saying, basically, reducing reset brawlers by half, doubling trophy league length, minimal trophy rank reset, increasing blings by 4x. Conclusion, overall bling earning should stay the same, but much easier to reach new trophy / bling thresholds, less grindy for 625 plus trophy brawlers. And like I said before, I believe this was pretty much so the sentiment inside the community upon this announcement here. But if you look a little bit further into the actual rewards, the bling that you get in comparison to the older version, the 2-week trophy reset, things are a little bit different here. We have this tweet as a follow-up to the last message from Dandy after looking into it a little bit more closely. After some more calculations, this is actually a nerf in bling for the majority of players. The only good thing about this is that you can grind less trophies and lose even less after reset, which in my opinion can also be viewed as a negative for certain players out there, and we'll be getting into that here in a minute. But bling rewards are definitely nerfed with this new change. So comparing new versus old, of course, new looks way better, seeing that just from the first threshold of 500 to 525, you get compensated. The old version, you would get 1 bling, and this one we are getting 4. So the new version definitely looks better when we're totaling up the amount of bling that we get for free here with these trophy resets. However, there are a few things impacting this number being bigger than before. Number one, the trophy league season is longer, double doubled the amount, so 4 weeks now. While on top of that, only our top 10 brawlers are getting reset after 4 weeks as opposed to 20s. So before we had less time, so we would get these bling reimbursements more often, while on top of that, we had 20 brawlers giving us a bling reimbursement. It's hard to conceptualize, but on paper, it looks pretty dang even. But if you get into the more minute details of it here, taking a look at this graph from Dandy, when comparing the amount of bling rewards that we get per week, so reduced to weekly earnings here. Of course, we have to wait 4 weeks in order to get this, but it's a comparison side by side to make it much easier to follow along. So assuming all brawlers are at the same trophy level here, just to make it easier to follow along here, if we're dealing with the old version here where 20 brawlers are being reset and they're all at the 500 trophy threshold, you can expect 10 bling to be compensated. With the new version, of course, the same goes. So in my opinion, this is almost better for certain people, especially the casual players, seeing that they don't have to put in as much effort. If 10 of your brawlers are at 500 trophies, you're still getting that 10 bling, right? But where the bling reduction is coming into play here is in the 600, 700, 800, and 900 trophy threshold, which, let's be honest, most of us, the casual players, are going to be within this threshold when a trophy reset comes in. A lot of us aren't just grinding up 10 brawlers to 1000. Some of us are, right? But not a lot of us. So if we take a look at that comparison, if we push 10 of our brawlers up to the 600 trophy threshold, we are getting 20 bling less from the reset. And same goes when we're going down the list here. If we get 10 brawlers to the 700 trophy threshold, we are getting 20 less, only 50 bling. And this continues through 800, getting 20 less, and then 900, we are getting 10 less there, 90 bling. So if we take a step back and look at the pros and cons here, we are getting less bling at the end of the day with this new change here. Definitely a negative if you ask me, but in order to get this bling, yes, we are getting less. We have to put in less work in order to do it, right? We only need to push 10 brawlers. It's taking the 10 highest. So if you're really trying to maximize bling, it's going to be less effort in order to meet these thresholds. And then if we keep going down the list and we're starting to get into the green again, finally, the green represents an even amount. So nothing changes past the 1000 mark. We are getting the same amount of bling as to what we were getting beforehand. So in conclusion here from Dandy, casual players are earning less bling than before for free, and everyone is losing less trophies per reset, which I can see it from a few different angles here if you're taking a look at it through the lens of a more competitive standpoint for those trophy grinders out there or more competitive players. It can be both good and bad depending on how you look at it, which let's get into that. So getting into our next phase of this episode today, is this a good change in the eyes of the community here? We had a post from Kairos here talking about how he enjoyed the changes, which I think I enjoy the changes as well. But there were some people commenting and giving their perspective on the matter here. We have Lukey Bear, the god Dynamite here, saying disagree. We have Kairos asking whether or not he can give some context here. And then Pierre says, can't speak for all, but some competitive players don't like the changes due to their brawlers not resetting back down. Most of people's high brawlers are their favorites, so if they don't tilt down, it feels discouraging to play with them. This is why some pros have been asking for harsher resets. And then Lukey confirms that this is largely due to this. So this is kind of the two-way street that we can see it here when we're looking at it through the lens of more competitive players. I think the trophy warriors, the ladder grinders out there that are going for these crazy trophy totals, this is going to be a benefit to them, right? So trophy resets aren't going to come in as fast, and they're not going to be hit super hard, seeing that it's taking into account the top 10 of your brawlers. So those trophy warriors out there who are grinding all of their brawlers up to like 1,250 or higher, only 10 of those brawlers are going to get smacked, so they can keep pushing for these higher totals here. But through the lens of most competitive players, players out there who aren't ladder warriors, just people who like to play a bit higher up in trophies with their favorite brawlers, don't necessarily love the changes because they have to wait such a long time for their brawler trophies to be reset, which I feel like is really how a lot of people are viewing the changes to the trophy reset. I think a lot of the time here in Brawl Stars, even more so now that we're getting more and more brawlers, it's more understandable to focus in on a couple brawlers that you jive with and have fun playing Brawl Stars with. So you're going to see this lopsided amount of trophies on a few different brawlers, the ones that you really enjoy playing with. And if it takes almost a month in order to get those brawlers trophies down, and in turn bringing it to a reasonable trophy amount where you just have fun playing with those brawlers, can be viewed as somewhat of a negative change. While at the same time, I think it hurts even more now that bling is the rewards that we get for trophy reset. It's a much more desirable thing that people are really wanting here in the game, so it hurts even more now to intentionally tilt your brawlers down so you can have fun in certain ranges, which a lot of people really didn't have that big of a problem doing beforehand when the trophy reset was the entire duration of the Brawl Pass, right? People didn't really mind because at the end of the day, really at the end of trophy reset, your trophies were just being reset. You would get star points, but no one really cared about them. So it's this weird dilemma of, do I tilt the brawler I enjoy playing Brawl Stars and earn less bling because of it, or do I just wait the 4 weeks so I can get the maximum bling reward and just not play my favorite brawler? You know what I mean? As you can see, Kairos says here with the reply Dandy showing him the charts going further into the analytics side of things, but Kairos brings up a great point. Basically, this is technically a nerf to the casual players when it comes to bling compensation here, but over time, casual players will be able to earn more trophies, as Kairos points out, so then in turn, they'll earn more bling in the long run. At the end of the day, any viewpoint is valid here, and the way that I'm kind of looking at it right now is not really trying to jump to crazy conclusions that this is an awful change or anything like that. In retrospect, the bling that we get from trophy resets is very minimal. I mean, for goodness sakes, if we take a look back at the most recent trophy reset that I got here, every 2 weeks, right, we can expect something like 143 total bling. Now, of course, over time, that's going to add up, and I would consider myself a more casual grinder, right? Most of my brawlers are chilling there in the like 650 trophy range to 750. But I think when we're talking about bling totals in the realm of monthly, like 300 bling every month for a casual player, it's not that crazy impactful. I mean, you get more bling in the very first tier of Power League here during the season, right? So there are much more efficient ways to farm bling here in this game, with challenges that come out, different quests that come out, Power League here. The trophy reset bling is a very small percentage of the amount of bling that we can get here in other facets of the game, where this is just like a nice passive income of bling that we can expect ever so often here. So I don't think this should be approached as a crazy bad change, and even if it is something that is impacting the more casual players, maybe this was just something that the Brawl Stars dev team didn't look into things super deeply on. If it's that big of a impact here, I'm assuming the Brawl Stars dev team will make a change to the compensation here of the bling to make it a bit better in comparison to the version that we had with the 2-week seasonal reset of the trophies, right? But yeah, I definitely just wanted to try to clear things up with all of you guys in this episode today with the recent changes, so we all have a better understanding of what went down, right? When it comes to free bling, as I said before, with this most recent update, I want to make sure that everyone is knowledgeable about where we can get bling for free, how to get bling, what's happening to our bling resources, because it's a very important currency now for free-to-play players in order to get these cosmetics here in the game, and I want to make sure you guys can capitalize on every bling out there. So I thought this was a important video to make. But yeah, of course, be sure to let me know what you guys are thinking about the change. Again, in retrospect, I don't think it's going to be a hugely impactful thing when it comes to the amount of bling that we're getting at the end of the day, but at the same time, I am eager to hear what you guys have to say about the changes to the trophy reset. Such a seemingly minor change, but with a ton of impact, right? To depending on where you're at in the Brawl Stars community, a casual or a more like competitive player here, it impacts you totally different, in my my opinion. But yeah, hopefully you all found this video helpful. If you did, make sure to slap a like on it. I'd really appreciate that. Have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. Keep having fun with Brawl Stars, and we'll see you all in the next one. Adios, and take care.